Welcome everyone. Today I'm with one of our top performing students, Leahcim James. Leahcim, how are you doing today?
What's going on, Shane? I'm doing good.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you hopping on this call. And the first really important question I want to be able to get at, because I know that you were previously someone who you built a multi-million dollar sales company, going in the door-to-door space. And, it's been piquing your interest in terms of the online space. How can you remove yourself from working day to day and actually earn money from your laptop instead? So what do you feel like was stopping you before everything to get into the Amazon space?
So I think the biggest thing was just the information. I love e-commerce, I understand the concept of e-commerce, but I felt like I didn't know the first step. And I just needed guidance. I needed mentorship, and I needed someone that has proven success to show me what I needed to do. So it was just the education.
Right. And that's a very good point because there's a lot out there on the online space and there's a lot of information as well, but just kind of like weeding out what information is good and what information is not good is extremely crucial. But at that point, then what made you decide to kind of like make the leap with us and our program over anybody else's?
Yeah, I think it was just from the referral, right? Someone referred me to you, and the person that referred me was someone that I trusted. So because I trusted them, I initially trusted you. But I think what really made me feel confident was when you presented and you showed me the step-by-step blueprint that you and your team has created and what you've done so far. So once I saw that, so the first thing was the trust. And then once I saw the way that you actually presented the information, like I said, I got a sales background. So I know when someone is bullshitting me and when someone is shooting me straight. And I felt like you knew exactly what you were doing.
Awesome, man. I love that. And that's a very important part is to be able to make sure that you're very understanding of the process because it's very hard when you're making a new move into a brand new space. It's uncomfortable nonetheless, but if you have some sort of like blueprint, much like what you mentioned, it makes it a lot easier and makes it a lot less overwhelming to kind of get into. Now, what was your main goal coming in to the program?
My main goal was just to see if I could make money, because e-commerce was new to me. I wasn't sure what the sky was. So I initially wanted to make money. And then I said, yo, do you think it's possible for me to make $10,000 in 30 days? And he was like, yo, if you're willing to put in the work, yeah. And that was really my end goal, was just to see if I could actually do it.
And how'd that end up working out for you?
Man, we blew all the expectations out the water. So I initially wanted to make $10,000 in 30 days, and I ended up making my first $10,000 in 10 days. So it's all a testament to the blueprint of what you showed me and the high level of execution that I was ready to implement.
Absolutely. It's big props to you because you are a high level executor and we've shown you the path, but you've actually walked the path, right? You've taken the action to do everything that we told you to do. Now, what aspect of the program do you feel like really helped you propel to your success of, 10K within your first 10 days of starting?
It was all the product research, right? The product research videos, and then having, I think the battle plan is what it's called, the battle plan blueprint. So once I understood and grasped that concept, it was game time. I felt really confident with the product research and just the concept of branded products. That aspect was just like, yo, I've never heard of this concept before, and I didn't even know how to go about it. So the crazy thing was I initially tried to sell on Amazon on my own earlier in the year before I met you. And I made a whopping one or two sales, prior to just trying to sell my own product. And then once, I completed the courses and I implemented the product research method that you taught in the course, the sales, I think my first sale came the next day, and then it just didn't stop.
I love that. And I love that you've been able to, go from the process of trying it on your own and, you realize it didn't work out, but you really understood the assignment in terms of like, you got to learn from someone that's been through this already. It just makes your learning process a lot easier and ultimately allows you to really get to the goal of where you want it to be, which, you're able to smash through your 30-day goal in a matter of 10 days.
Fact.
Now, what would you say for anyone that's kind of like on the fence about this, that anyone that's thinking about starting it, but they have their hesitations, they're a little bit holding themselves back, I guess you can say, from actually making that leap? What would you say to someone like that?
Well, I would say definitely you got to make sure your mindset is where it needs to be, that this isn't a get rich quick scheme. It's a simple process, but you got to be willing to put in the work. So if you're at a stage in your life that you want to learn something new, and you're willing to put in the work, I think, Shane and his team has the experience, they have the blueprint, and they have the structure. I'm a person that needs someone to, when I'm learning something new, to kind of hold my hand through the process. And I feel like you and your team did that. So for anyone that's watching, I think if you have the right mindset that you really want to dominate the e-commerce space, Shane is the right person, because he's gonna guide you through the process.
And considering you did so well in such a short period of time, what would you give people in terms of like top three mindset tips coming into this?
Yeah, absolutely. So number one, nothing is going to be perfect, right? So the reason of why, as I started, when things didn't go perfect as I expected, I didn't expect it to, right? Like I have a business mindset, and I know that in my previous business, there are a lot of trials and tribulations. So I was expecting that. But for me, the e-commerce, like being able to troubleshoot stuff or figure things out from behind my computer, to me, that was so easy, even the most difficult things. So the first thing is the mindset. Number two is the dedication. Do you actually have the time, and are you willing to put in the time to get great at it? Right. And then the third thing is continuing to ask questions. So for me, even when I was hitting my targets within the first 10 days, I was still joining the daily question and answer sessions, because there's, at no point do I ever feel like I have it all figured out. I'm always a student. And I feel like once you always have a student mentality, you're always going to grow. And once you're growing, you're happy. I say growing people are happy people.
Couldn't have said it any better, honestly, man. It's just a testament to, really the type of person that you are. And ultimately, you've been able to generate those significant results, which at the end of the day, I couldn't be more proud as a coach, and our team couldn't be more proud of the results that you've been able to achieve, just because you're given the blueprint and you execute it. It's that simple. And honestly, at the end of the day, you're one of our top performing students. So it's been nothing but a pleasure, Leahcim. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. No problem. Thank you, Shane.